Jason Pate.
The Unabomber.
Huh. Damn. Oh, you're outside. No, let me no, I was just thinking about what we talked about. Anyway, other than that,
Yeah, I'm in the doghouse.
anyway,
Hey, what's going on, you broke motherfuckers?
Let's get fucking big!
You don't know what you do. It's just a feeling inside.
hey, what's going on, you broke motherfucker? I'm here with Jason Pate, Mike Diesel, and aka the Natural Freak of Nature. Let's see. So we're back, guys. It's been a minute. We've been busy. Take this hoodie off and get things rolling. So,
Oh, your hair fell out.
Oh shit! No. Let me see. So Jason is apparently grilling out. Good old Sundays, man. I'm gonna make me a burger later.
What I'm doing?
Oh, you're making burgers? Yeah. There's something about a damn rare burger, right? It's like, I love steak, but I just cannot get away from a good cheap burger, like a rare burger with some onion and lettuce. So today I'm just making a burger and I'm going to kill some fries. I haven't had, obviously fries have a lot of potassium in it. So I'm going to get the rest of my daily intake of potassium in from them fries, and boy, it's going to be good. And I'm debating on a movie. So what are you going to do? You're eating a burger, and what are y'all going to watch, a movie or something later, or what?
I'm gonna do homework.
Oh, okay. So homework. Okay, good. Well, I'm going to enjoy myself. Anyway, let me see.
Week 5 assignments.
Oh, shit. Damn. Well, I hope you enjoy that. While you're doing your homework, put something on in the background. Enjoy yourself a little bit. Let me see. Okay, so the topic, I want to discuss this with you, and I want your opinion on it, because, this is getting fit and talking shite. You want to start with the shit or the fitness?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I thought it was interesting because I had to, since our last talk, I had to buy some more protein, and I noticed that the 5-pound bucket that I used to buy for like 50 some odd bucks was now
It was what?
over 100.
Holy shit. Okay, you called it then. You called it. Because people were looking at the last one, they were commenting on it, whatever. You were absolutely right then. Damn.
Yeah, so a pound bucket that normally costs like 20 something bucks is now around 50, and then the 5-pound that used to be around 50 is now over 100.
Well, you see, that's where I don't agree with that. I get it. They have to break, they want to make the same amount of money they were making when they were selling it cheaper, right? But at the end of the day, how is that helping with the protein? You know what I mean? It's not doing anything. The extra money they're getting isn't producing more fucking protein. So, I mean,
the supply and demand, man.
Yeah, I know that, but Jesus.
Capitalism. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, damn. America. Nah. Hey, you know what? It is what it is. At least we get to experience that kind of shit. You know what I mean? You got to have some kind of chaos in your life. You know what I mean? It can't always be perfect. So, hey, deal with it. A few months. I'm sure by the end of the year it'll go back to normal, whatever. But hey, at least I just feel sorry for the people that can't afford it. Because I know you looked at it and was like, I know you weren't like, what the fuck, man? Gee, I know you were like, well, all right. And you kind of just had to do it, so it's all good.
Got it. Oatmeal somehow.
Now, do you take your protein before I get started? Since you brought it up, do you take? See, I take mine's in the I do my cardio, right? And I take it right after my cardio, and then I have my meal. Now, when I'm doing fasted training, for instance, I'll do my training first, fasted. Then I'll take my protein, and then I'll have my meal, and then I'll do cardio at night. I switch it up, but how do you do yours?
Based on time constraints, most of the time I'm waking up early in the morning to go get my lift in the morning, and then I just started kicking up the cardio, not kicking up, but doing it, period. Hit 20-minute walk, post working out. And then come home, do my breakfast, get my eggs. Gotta drown out the flavor of the eggs with some sausage, and get my meal. And that's where get my protein at, or that's where I put my protein in.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, okay, cool, cool. Well, that works. That works perfect, actually. All right. Are you still adding? See, I don't add any sugar. Like if I'm just doing cardio that day and I take a day off from training, I don't add any sugar. But are you still adding sugar to your proteins and your
No,
shakes?
I haven't been focused on getting in sugar directly after a workout. Well,
Oh, okay. I mean, it doesn't matter. You know, I mean, it does matter, meaning you're going to benefit from it. But if you don't do it, it's not. You know, you're not losing anything. So yeah. But anyway, anything to add to the protein before I get into this?
no, go ahead.
All right. So do you want the fitness or the shit first?
Uh, Fitness.
Fitness. All right. So I was talking to somebody about this, and I was trying to teach them something, and I want you to elaborate on it more. So what they were actually discussing is basically what you're doing right now. This is what we were discussing. Basically, you know, training and cardiovascular training, right? Meaning they were wondering, they were asking me, they said, hey, look, they said that always get the pump. They basically were asking, they're like, so all these normies, as we call them, that get up in the morning, you know, they're skinny, right? I'm not talking about overweight people. We're talking about, like, you know, in the past we've discussed overweight people. I'm talking about average people that look normal, they look healthy, right? And hell, they might even eat clean. But they were asking how these people, they get up in the morning, they don't do any cardiovascular training, they don't weight lift at all, weight training, and they get up, they drink their coffee, they go straight to work, they sit at a desk, and they're asking me how they're still alive. I'm like, okay, let's break this down. I said, first of all, you have to understand something. Our bodies have like a warranty on it, right? So when you're younger, right, you can get away with that kind of stuff. Oh, look who it is, Captain America. So you can get away with that kind of stuff, right? When you're younger, the body just adapts and you don't feel those things, right? When you're younger, 20s, 30s, and even early 40s, it's like the peak prime. You're not feeling that kind of, you know, because you know what I mean? Like when you're eating horrible, or even if you're eating clean, right? But cardiovascular training, I was trying to explain to them, it's very important that you do it at a young age and continue to do it, right? Because of that warranty. Now, if you don't do cardiovascular and you've never trained in your life, you're not going to die because you're eating clean, whatever, right? But what they don't understand is that you're silently damaging your organs, and you don't have any, because cardiovascular, you need it. You need to keep the heart pumping because eventually it thinks that it's dying, you know? And here's the thing. I'm telling them that when they reach their 50s and 60s, they're automatically going to feel it. Oh my God, the whole crew is here. When you hit your 50s and 60s, right, it's like a switch. Your body, all that shit you did in the past to your body and didn't train and stuff like that, you might look normal, but you were silently affecting your organs, your heart, your lung, liver, whatever, right? And a switch hits in your 50s, and it's like, oh my God, what's happening to me? I just woke up, and what's going on? And you're going to the doctors repeatedly every month because something's wrong with you. It's because your body's like, oh, yep, it's that time, boom. And all that shit you did, you're messing it up. But if you had cardiovascular training the whole time since you were a teenager all the way till you were 50, you can technically eat like shit, right? And guess what? That warranty is still there. Meaning you could literally take off a whole year. Me and you could take off a whole year, and our body is going to be perfectly fine. As long as we're eating clean, nothing's going to happen to us at all. Now, and then we just jump back into it, and everything will roll normal. But for the people that don't have that cardiovascular training, all that silent death, that's what catches up, and they wonder why. So I tried to explain it the best I could, and I tried to, like I said, you're not going to die, but you're going to die early. You're not going to live to 100 because you don't have that cardio. Your body you need to have cardiovascular training. But I want your take on it.
Well, I think you brought up some good points there. In the fact that you can have somebody that looks skinny would automatically just think, hey, you know, this girl, whatever, looks like they're pretty healthy because they don't have what you would normally call, you know, like belly or maybe the man boob or something like that going on. But seeing the underlying, the actual dangerous part. So, like, having that gut and everything, yeah, that's dangerous. But what you're not able to see is that person's level of visceral fat. So it's doing damage to the organs of the body. So by having all this fat stored around the organs, now it's showing up as being that big belly and that big gut, but it's there around the organs, which is doing all sorts of damage, causing all sorts of issues. Kick in until much later in life. And as you kind of said, like, hey, I've never been a heavy person. I've never been somebody who like obese or anything like that, but they've not worked out. They've not really eaten the best. Like I've seen super skinny guys who, eat like candy all the time, and eat garbage and eat fast food all the time. And everyone's like, oh, metabolism. They're healthy because of metabolism so good. But what they don't see is the amount of fat that's being stored around their organs on the inside, which is going to cause all sorts of issues later on down the road. And then eventually, metabolism is going to slow down and things are going to get bad. They might store a little bit extra fat and, just be like, hey, it's a normal part of aging, but not seeing the damage that is done on the inside of the body. Now, important to think about is the fact that you can't outwork a bad diet, so eating healthy and doing all that sort of stuff is always important so that you're not trying to outwork that stuff. But yeah, if you're not taking care of yourself by having some sort of exercise going on, then yeah, you're always creating that issue, whether it be the cardio, whether it be working out. And it's funny because my wife and I actually had a discussion about this earlier on this week. It just kind of, I don't even remember what it was we were talking about, but it got us on to talk about calves and things like that. And one of the things I heard that always kind of stuck out to me was somebody called the calves like the second heart, because it's like the biggest muscle group that's distal from the heart. And so by getting those calves pumping everything, you're helping squeeze that blood back up towards the heart and everything, and just having that good blood return and making sure that your circulatory system's working right. Doing cardio is a great way to do that by taking a body weight movement and doing it repetitively. Like me, I like jump rope. Some people might like other things, So yeah.
Right, absolutely. And you know what? You explained it. You explained that last part right there. That was perfect. Yeah. Now that's Jason's take on it, and that whole outrunning, outworking the problem. You can't do that. Like you can try, but you just gotta. So I think you need to be perfect, and you do. Meaning, like overweight people, like football players and stuff like that, right? They're training. You see what I'm saying? They're training and they're doing the right thing. They're getting all that cardiovascular, and even though they're overweight, so that's good for their body. You know what I mean? It's great for their body. But the difference is they're still carrying all that fat and all that, which still, even though their internal organs are good, they're still causing issues by allowing the heart to work even harder because they're carrying too much weight. So, you know what I mean? So you have to be dialed in is what I'm saying. That's why most football players and athletes, they downsize later, and they have to, because then when you're eating clean and you're still doing cardiovascular, like you said, you're good, you're perfect. You're going to live a long life, hell, if not forever. But at the end of the day, I think that you have to balance it both. You can't have both. You gotta, just like you right now, you look great, you eat clean, and you do cardiovascular. Meaning we're the perfect candidates. Like we're not gonna die, unless something crazy happens, right? But anyway, no, but unless that house falls on you. But look, at the end of the day, that's a perfect example of that. And I think that they're gonna get, because it's hard to explain, but you broke it down perfectly at that last part there. So do you agree about, the carrying the weight part and all that as well? Even if you're eating healthy and keeping your organs clean, you can't carry around more weight than your heart can handle anyway. You get what I'm saying?
Well, it's not just your heart, but you got to think about, obviously your heart's super important when we talk about all that, but just all of your organs in general,
Yeah, kidneys, yeah.
well, not just that, but getting into different body structures, talking about the joints and I mean, like a lot of people, what was it, last year or earlier this year, where Batista came out with like a new physique and he's like super lean down and stuff like that, and he dropped all kinds of weight, and he's like, I'm older, like it doesn't feel good to carry around all this weight and to work out like that all the time. Um, so yeah, eventually at some point there is a natural downsizing, the fact that you get older and your hormones change and all that type of stuff. But sometimes it's like, yeah, wear and tear on the body just kind of takes its toll. Um, maybe starting out when you're younger and not lifting properly and doing good warm ups, but guilty of all that and having to keep things up. Um, because I was, super arrogant whenever I was younger and be like, oh, well, that's your max. Well, that's going to be my warm up. Um, Healthy, not the best.
Hold on, you're breaking up. Wait a minute. Say that last part. I couldn't hear you.
I said that's not the best mindset to have when it comes to working out. Like, hey, I'm just going to jump in and start going heavy right away and not use the body into it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. That part you said about like obviously I just used the heart for an example, but basically all your organs. The point is though, you can't when you get into your 50s and shit like that, you can't carry that weight anyway. I mean, you can, but that's where it becomes dangerous because then your heart is stressing and your organs, you're overloading them. Even if you're eating clean, you still need to downsize because you're older. You know what I mean? When you hit your 50s and 60s, you can't walk around at 300 fucking pounds. You can walk around at 300 pounds in your 20s, yeah. But when you get to 50 years old, you can't maintain that because the heart has been stressed that whole time and you need to downsize that way. Okay, I've performed, I did. Batista's smart because, all right, I've had my thrills, I'm downsizing because guess what? Now that he downsized, right? Now he took all that pressure off of his organs and all that strain that was going on. Now he can actually still live a longer life, But the motherfucker, or excuse me, I mean to curse. You know what? Fuck that. The motherfuckers that still try to carry around all that weight, that's the danger part because they want to look good. You can still look good in 50 and be shredded, and because the fact is you're 50 and you look like that, people are impressed. So if you want to die early, stay at 300 pounds. If you don't, do the right thing. Anyway.
Well, it's funny because he went through a good amount of body shaming online, like, oh, he's got to be sick. What's wrong with him? All this different type of stuff. But it's like, no, the guy's just come to a realization that life has happened, and I mean, he's getting older and all that type of stuff, and he's got to dial it back some and take it easier.
Yeah. Why would they assume? What'd you say?
That was just for a role, or if he's doing the exact same thing, or what?
Yeah, no, not at all. He's just smart. Like, why do these dummies online, or why do they say that? Like, he's supposed to still be 300 pounds. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, like nobody. You come on now. You have to change when you hit 50 and 60 and all that shit, man. They expect him to always be Batista. It doesn't work that way. I mean, he can if you want him to die tomorrow, but yeah, but I get what you're saying though. Yeah, all that shaming.
It's like expecting Arnold, who is, God, I don't even know how old he is now. 80, yeah. To say, well, you're the Austrian oak. You're the reason I got into this. I need you to still look like you did.
Yeah, no. We know that he's not going to look like... Do we want him? That would be great, right? Like, of course I think about those things. Of course in your head, you're like, damn, it would be great if he's still... But we know that's not the case. Does that change him or who he is inside? No. Mentally or whatever, he's still the same Austrian oak. But life happens, time defeats all. What'd you say?
Think about some of these, these younger guys. Like there are so many bodybuilders who have died at a young age because of all the crap they put into their bodies and stuff like that. All the whatever they've done. I'm not going to get into all that, but like, okay, somebody got smart and realized that, hey, I can't put my body through this forever. I haven't researched the thing extensively, but like even look at Chris Bumstead. Decide like, hey, I'm going out on top. I've seen things of him because like advertisements for his app where he's like still super huge and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Still looks like he competes, but he's obviously not putting his body through the same stressors that he did before.
And he still looks great.
Amazing. But that would be like most of the internet trolls that you get to be like, oh yeah, but you don't look like this. Like, but you never looked at, like, most of these guys who have something to say never looked like Arnold, even as he does in his 80s. Or Batista as he's downsized himself.
Exactly.
People who have something to say are the people who've never achieved it themselves.
Right. Yes, because they're like, oh, now's the time we can say something. Yeah, but you're still just a basement troll. You've never done anything. And the thing is, what you just said, they know that. So that's all that matters. They know that we even know that they know that. So, you know, it is what it is, man. And people like that, they stress themselves out and we don't hear about them never, ever again. But, you know, the point remains what you said. Father Time is undefeated. And the thing is, you can still be at Arnold's age. He's still a legend, and people still look at him the same way. You know, at least I do, so it doesn't matter.
I think...
Hey, what's going on, you broke motherfuckers?
Let's get fucking big!